Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure? It's cultist coffee. What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh, yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the office, and welcome to the morning grind. I am getting a late start here. I know, getting a late start, which seems to be more and more regular because of the new schedule, but that I'm on with work and things like that. But I appreciate your being here with me. We're doing something a bit different today. I'm taking a break from the OSE, the gaming, and the game design stuff for the moment, because today I am finishing up one of my stories, which is going out this Christmas, called Purr and the Winter Warlock. And we've talked about it. It was a few weeks ago. But I made some changes to it. I'm making a final pass over it because I've got to send it for printing because it's going out this Christmas. So that's what we're doing here. So it's great to see everybody. We've got lots of people here. We've got, hey, good morning, Doc Flamingo right here. Okay, Derm. See, we got the new way that YouTube writes the names here, and that's with the @ symbol. Derm, we'll just say Derm. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Better with Bacon. Mr. Rourke, yeah, so I put the kitten on the cover directly, particularly for that reason. Good morning, Good morning, Mike. So Durham says, "Hi, thank you for the video about Dark Sun lore. Dark Sun campaign setting was my first contact with the game. I played a preserver, and the party restores Athos back to its former glory in the campaign." Well, that's cool. We did some. I think I saw a comment the other day, or maybe yesterday, or something. It might have been from you, just passed by, that I wasn't able to reply to yet, which is I was scrolling through YouTube. It was on one of the shorts about Dark Sun. But we did a lot of morning grinds on Dark Sun. We sat here and read a lot of morning grind material, a lot of Dark Sun material on the morning grind, and did kind of a deep dive into that and find out what that setting was all about. So I'm not sure which videos you were talking about, but anybody who's out there and you don't know about the Dark Sun setting, and you want to listen to us go through it, there was a lot of material here on that. Let's see. Yes, hey, Doc Flamingo, member for 21 months. Huzzah! All bow down and worship the mighty flamingo god. See, good morning, Tomocrat. My camera is crooked, and that might be, maybe I could pass that off as a stylistic choice, but the camera mount I'm gonna have to completely redo because it's been slipping and slipping and slipping, and I was trying to do something to hold it up, and it's still holding at the moment. But yes, the camera is crooked, and like maybe I should just say that stylistic, but I'm gonna have to completely reset that. All right. Let's see. So what's going on? I have been in the evenings yesterday, Saturday. See, today is, I don't even know what today is. Today is Sunday. So Friday and Saturday, I went to the North Pole Express train. I love Christmas. I went to the North Pole Express train right after the winery. It was so cold Friday, but I went there, and there were vendors set up there, which I didn't know. That was awesome. There were vendors set up there at the North Pole Express train. This is at the train museum, the Heart of Dixie Train Museum. They do a North Pole Express where everybody dresses up, or most people dress up in their pajamas. You get on the train. They've set this. It's a historic train. Cars over 100 years old. They set the whole thing up, Christmas lights and garland, really nice setup inside the train, live music on the train. And then you go down to the North Pole with all these lights and things like that. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus get on the train, and you have hot cocoa and cookies and talk to. It's a really nice experience. I went there, and I took some cards that I had. Santa Claus cards, CEO and chief toy maker and CEO of the North Pole right here. That has these letters from Santa's and the stories that I was writing. And I walked up and down the line as the kids were getting on for tickets, and handed these to the parents and told people that if they would like the child to receive a really nice letter from Santa Claus, to scan the QR code here on the back. So I handed out about 250 of these over the past couple of nights, and I talked to the director of the train museum. I was like, "Hey, I didn't know that you had vendors here. I want to set up a vendors table. Can I do that over the next few weekends while you guys are doing this?" And she said she'd send me an application. So I don't think I've gotten it yet. I'll check my inbox later. But I was like, no, I go. Some people who I knew had a table set up for like baked goods, and we're doing like a baked good kind of a sale thing, Santa's sweets or something. I was like, hey, I don't set up a table here. And so hopefully I will get that and hopefully be able to do that. That'll be a lot. I mean, if I do that, that'll be Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the foreseeable, until Christmas. So we will see. Another thing that could potentially disrupt schedules here, but that's so much fun. I enjoy Christmas, and that's such a neat environment to be at. Everybody is happy. All the kids there. It's really magical. I mean, it's probably the coolest thing you can do with a historic train. Probably so. So right here. So I have been getting ready. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I put a small little one letter package up on the website on ravenkeep.net, which is what I sent the QR code to. So I'm mailing these tomorrow, by the way. I am mailing the first letter tomorrow. So I have all the letters here. I don't think my stamp arrived for my Santa Claus my Santa Claus return address labels. I'm going to print some Santa Claus return address labels. I've got some ideas for that and a little design on it. They'll go out tomorrow. Maybe the the stamp will arrive by the time the second mailing goes out. But if you just want, like, if you have a kid who you want one letter to go out to, you can get it. I'll also put the direct link right here. But these mail tomorrow. One letter link. Those mail out tomorrow. And one of the things I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm probably going to go back up to the train this afternoon. The first train leaves at like 5 o'clock, so this evening. But I'm going to have everything ready so that I can take all of the first letters to mail tomorrow. So December 1st, the first letters, I got the stickers in. I got some stickers in. I didn't get to do custom stickers this year, but I got 3 different sticker sheets, one for each of the 3 different mailings. I got the wax seals. I got the printouts of the coloring page. I got the prints, the letter, really nice. And those mail tomorrow. So if you have a child who you think would enjoy it, it's a good Santa letter. And the second mailing will have Purr in it. That's why I got to go and finish this and Purr and the Winter Warlock, because the second mailing will have Purr in it. And that's what we're going to look at today. So something a little bit different because I need to read over it one more time. We didn't get to do that on Wednesday. And so, but I got to do that now. And I can think of 2 minor changes that I probably need to make, but then we got to finalize this. So, may I ask you to continue Dark Cipher? If I may ask you continue Dark Cipher. Wait, what is that? Dark Cipher? Is it an RPG? I'm not sure I understand that question. I'm sorry. This regarding, like, is that something to do with the Cipher system? I'm looking at Dark Cipher RPG. If you can clarify, I will be happy to clarify. I'm just not sure what you mean at the moment. Okay, so let me take that down and then bring up Purr. Here we go. Oh, we'll do a breathe and sip. I need to moisten my lips here. So this is designed. Oh yeah. Some people did get some sample letters. Yeah, for what they were. If you were in on the cultist Kickstarter campaign, I sent little sample letter packages to people who are part of the Kickstarter campaign, just so that there were some physical letters in people's hand. And thank you, Tom Grant. Okay, so Purr and the Winter Warlock. I'm really excited about this story. There's a lot more that could also be done in this world. And this one came up with a little bit, bit. That's what I want to do. There we go. A little bit longer than I was anticipating, and I added some stuff. There was something missing from it, and I knew what it was, and I was like, "There's something missing from this story," which was after we looked at a first draft here. And I was like, well, but it's supposed to be shorter. I don't really want to go long. If I add this back in, it's going to lengthen it a little bit. It's going to, so maybe I don't want to do that. But it's just like, no, it's really bothering me. I got to add this in. It fixes a couple of problems, adds a major heroic moment, and now the story is so much better. And, because it adds one of the archetypes into the story. So it added that into the story, and then now it's better. So it seems like anytime you lean into, well, first of all, that's what we were supposed to be doing this year, was leaning into, the kinds of things we want to create, and I wanted to create. But also, anytime you're missing one of these major archetypes, well, the story improves when you add it in. So, all right, let's breathe and sip. I got Witch's Brew. I got water this morning here. I've got the Witch's Brew mug. Let's do a breathe and sip. Let's take 2 deep breaths. Deep breaths, complete exhales, and then take a sip of your favorite beverage this morning. So here we go. And sip. All right, there we go. All right, so Purr and the Winter Warlock. Commentary is welcome. Like I said, I'm getting toward the end here, and I can think of two things I might want to change, but this has got to go to print. Or I got to upload this like this afternoon, or something like that, in order to get it all ready. So this is going. So final pass right here. I hope you love it. Oh, I didn't talk about Thanksgiving. Oh, I hope everybody have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you did. I went to had Thanksgiving at my brother's house with my mother's side of the family on Wednesday night. I was going there after the last stream. We did had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I played Magic with the boys the next day, but we introduced them to Secret Hitler on Friday. They love One Night Werewolf, the social deduction game, One Night Werewolf. So they love, can we just play One Night Werewolf, or they want to play Magic? And I was like, the adults have had a request that we play Secret Hitler, because we had 8 people there to play Secret Hitler, and you need a group of people. We had 8 people, and once again, we had a freaking fantastic time at the table. That game, it has generated some of my favorite and most memorable gaming sessions ever, and the boys just loved it. The 10-year-old said, well, at the end of it, the 10-year-old goes, well, One Night Werewolf is in the trash. I didn't understand what he was saying. He goes, it's in the trash. I was like, it's in the trash? What do you mean? He was like, no, because it's all about Secret Hitler now. So they loved it. The 8-year-old really got into it too. But there's one thing that I will never be able to play that game again without thinking about this. And that's, they didn't know the term, the youngest one didn't know the term fascist. That's the first encounter with the term fascist. And so he's looking down the counter, and says something like, or the table, and says something about, I don't remember what the exact line was, but, basically, are you a fashionist? He calls it, he called them a fashionist. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to think about that again. Like, oh, are you a fascist? We should know. This fashionist is being taken over by the government's being taken over by a bunch of fashionists. We should have known that by their, slick backed hair and sparkled sequined black pants, leather pants. And the fashionists are always easy to spot when they're trying to take over your government. So now that game at our house will ever be between the liberals and the fashionists. Oh, of course, that's my thing. Yes, I do want to return to that. That I want that to be one of the worlds, but it's gone on the back burner. That's the Black Cipher. There's a couple of things on a YouTube channel for the Black Cipher, and so that one was intended to be like the sci-fi Lovecraft kind of thing. So we ended up going back to the. I ended up kind of starting over this year and going back to the beginning and releasing and updating things from the beginning and trying to release them right. So that one is on the back burner, and it probably will be for a little while, for the foreseeable future, because I've got probably later in December, we'll talk about like plans for next year, and we can see what's going to happen next year. But the big thing next year is the Rabavania book Kickstarter and RPG, which I've also been working on writing the first Rabavania story. And I read that to my nephews, the first part of it to my nephews on Thanksgiving, and I got positive feedback there. So I was very happy about that as well. And then I'm not sure what. There are several different possible projects, because also on Thanksgiving, after playing Secret Hitler, of course, that made me think about the cultists social deduction game, because I was making a cultist social deduction game called Ritual, but I never got enough energy behind the game in order to do a Kickstarter, because in order to run the crowdfunding campaign, because of course in that case you have to produce a minimum number of the games. And I was still stuck on a little bit of an element of game design. But then as my brother and I were driving to our father's side of the Thanksgiving rather, I was like, okay, let's see if we can come up with a solution to this problem for the Ritual social deduction game. And so he and I in the car developed came up with a new solution, which I was really happy about. So I was like, okay, well now hold on. This might be the solution that I'm looking for and might work really well. So we might even, I want to get something together to play test. The youngest one was sitting there listening in. He was like, okay, I want to play that. I want to play that one too. So I don't know. There is a lot that I'm trying to work through. And that one is probably the lowest priority of about 4 worlds. So we will see. Mike says, went to Thanksgiving at my sister's home, played a game called Wavelength, a party game with my niece there and several others. I don't know that one. I'm going to look that one up. Wavelength, a recommended party game. I typically get a classic or, party game of the month for my family, like the whole extended family for Christmas, my mother's side. Okay, I looked that one up. I will check that one out. It's got it on a tab. Thank you for the recommendation. Yeah, the conversations were the reason for bringing pencil and paper nearly everywhere. Actually, I was dictating notes into Gemini for that. But yes, so as we were in the car. So I'm excited about that too. I want to do Rabavania next because the only reason to do did my camera freeze? It kind of looks like my camera froze. Oh, or did I? Oh, no, it looks like my audio is working. It looks like my camera froze. Let me see if I can get that back. The major reason to do there we go. The major reason to do the occultist themed Kickstarter would be to try to fund a movie. I mean, that would be it, to try to fund a movie. But I did so much with the cultist this year. I kind of wanted to take a breather from it, and I have to get some Rabavania stuff out just for personal edification, if no other reason. But if I could hook that social deduction tabletop game into funding a film, I would, if I could figure out how to do that. But I have to figure out how to get a lot more attention on the subject in order to do that. That's possible, but we're doing Rabavania first anyway, next year. Okay, but first, I put all of my creative stuff on hold so I could do the letters from Santa. So, letters from Santa, Purr and the Winter Warlock. This will go out in the second mailing. So here we go. Purr and the Winter Warlock by E.H. Robinson. Snow flew in glittering sheets around the ice field. Purr, a small orange-striped kitten, curled up against the roots of a crooked pine bent low with heavy snow. She had been on a journey with her mother when a pack of ice wolves burst from the trees, snapping and snarling. Her mother had darted away to draw them off, but she never came back. Now the world felt wide and white. Purr was alone, lost, and it was only a few days before Christmas. For a long time, she stayed hidden, afraid the wolves would return. But as night fell, the cold bit deeper. The howls of wind or wolf, she knew not which, echoed through the hills. She lifted her head. For a heartbeat, a faint golden light flickered in her eyes, quick as a spark. Overhead, an owl saw the glimmer and glided, quiet as a whisper, to a branch above her. "Little one," he said, "you will freeze if you stay here." "Please, sir," said Purr, "my mother is gone and I'm frightened. Do you know where I can find a warm place to stay?" "I do," said the owl. "Not far from here stands the fortress of the Winter Warlock, guardian of the mountain pass. Go there, and he will take you in." "The mountains?" Purr whispered. They look dreadful, like the teeth of some great they look dreadful, like the teeth of some great beast. He shivered. "Courage is warmer than fur," the owl replied. "And there is courage and more within you, little one. If you nurture it, the cold will learn to fear even one as small as you." Purr blinked. How could something as powerful as the cold fear her? But the owl did not explain. "Head straight toward the highest peak. There you will find the Warlock's gate." He spread his wings and vanished into the snowy sky. Purr took a deep breath. "If Mother was brave enough to face the ice wolves, then I can walk to the mountains." She swallowed her fear and stepped into the storm. Purr trudged through the snow. The climb was harder than she ever imagined. The wind clawed at her fur, and at times the drifts were so deep that she had to leap just to move forward. Hours passed. Her paws grew numb and her stomach gave a painful, empty growl. She hadn't eaten since morning. She pulled herself over a jagged ridge. As she pulled herself over a jagged ridge, she saw a flicker of movement. A gray rat scurried along a ledge, carrying a yellow hunk of hard cheese. Purr's mouth watered. She scrambled over the rock, shivering Please, sir, she called, her voice trembling against the wind. I'm very hungry. Could you spare a crumb of your cheese? The rat stopped and spun around, clutching the cheese to his chest. His beady eyes narrowed as he looked the kitten up and down. Spare a crumb, he sneered, whiskers twitching. I risk my tail stealing this from the goblins in the valley. Why should I share it with a stray like you? Find your own dinner. But I'm lost, Purr whispered, and so very hungry. That's your problem, isn't it? The rat scoffed. Look out for number one. That's my motto. You'd best learn it, or you won't last the night. With a flick of his tail, he disappeared into a crevice in the rocks, leaving Purr alone in the howling wind. Purr's heart stung at his cruelty. She fought back tears. The cold felt deeper than before, and the world seemed unforgiving. But she remembered the owl's words, courage is warmer than fur. She turned her face forward to the mountain. She turned her face to the mountain and kept climbing. Let's put that. Frost clung to her whiskers. She slipped and nearly fell, but caught herself and pressed on. Just when she thought she could go no further, the great gate of the Winter Warlock's ice fortress rose before her. The doors were vast and dark, carved from frozen crystals as hard as iron. The ancient runes shimmered faintly across their surface. She placed a small paw on the door and meowed, but her tiny voice was lost in the wind. No one came. She sank against the heavy ice, shaking from nose to tail. If she didn't get inside, she would freeze solid by morning. Then, through the swirling snow, she saw a narrow crack between the stones in the wall. It was too small for any man or elf, but just large enough for her. Summoning her last ounce of strength, she squeezed through the gap and slipped into the ice fortress. The air within was still and cold as frosted glass. Purr crept through the narrow passage, whiskers brushing the frozen walls. Suddenly, a horrible chittering laughter echoed ahead, accompanied by the skittering of many claws on stone. Purr froze. She did not wish to see whatever made those sounds. She turned and padded away, lost within the labyrinthine passages. Ahead in the dim light, she saw a gray shape. It was not moving. She drew closer. As she drew closer, she saw why. A rat, his tail caught fast in a rusted iron trap. He was straining for a morsel of hard yellow cheese that lay just out of reach. Purr recognized him immediately. It was the same rat who had refused to share his meal. The rat looked up and saw Purr. He stopped straining and slumped against the cold stone. Go ahead, the rat said, his voice flat. Take it. I know I would if I saw a rat like me caught in a trap. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm going to die here. He bowed his head, shivering. I can't get out. You might as well eat the cheese. And me. You'd be doing me a mercy. Purr looked at the bit of cheese. Her stomach growled. It looked so tasty, and the rat, although dirty, was plump enough to be a wonderful meal. It would serve him right. She padded toward the cheese, but instead of eating it, she nudged it with her nose, pushing it closer to the rat. The rat looked up, confused. I can't leave you here to die, she said quietly. Let me help you. The rat stared at her, unbelieving. Purr walked to the trap. She gripped the rusted springs with her teeth and paws, pulling with all her might. It was heavy, but slowly the jaws widened. The rat yanked his tail free. He rubbed it tenderly. It was hurt, but he was free. Thank you, he whispered. He picked up the cheese, tore it in half, and handed a piece to her. Here. Thank you, Purr said. They sat in the dark and ate slowly, savoring every bite. To Purr, nothing had ever tasted so good. I am Barnaby, the rat said, wiping crumbs from his whiskers. I am Purr. Do you know where I can find the Winter Warlock? I do, said Barnaby. Straight down this passage, then bear left. Just watch your step. Thank you, Barnaby. I owe you one, kid, the rat said, standing to scurry toward a crack in the wall. Be seeing you. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Purr returned. Barnaby vanished, and Purr followed his directions. The passage opened into a vast, glittering hall of ice. Frost hung from the ceiling like arches of lace. In the center, a great crystal cauldron bubbled. Drawn by its warmth, Purr crept across the floor. Crack! A staff struck the ground with a burst of light. Purr spun around. A tall man loomed over her, clad in white and blue robes. He had a long white beard, a crooked nose, and eyes that gleamed as sharp as winter ice. I never actually confirmed it's the Winter Warlock. Clearly, this was the Winter Warlock. Something like that. Begone, thief, foul creature. Another thief. Begone, foul creature, or I'll blow the warmth from your bones and send you spinning into the frozen void. Purr froze. I'm not a thief, she squeaked. The Winter Warlock blinked and lowered his staff. A kitten? His frozen breath drifted like snowflakes. By the north wind. I have a kitten twice. By the north wind. I thought you were another gremlin. Gremlin. Why have you come to my hall, little one? I was cold, Purr said softly, and lost. I can't find my mother. The Warlock's eyes softened. Well, you found shelter here. With a wave of his hand, he conjured a bowl of warm milk, faintly steaming. Drink and be warm. Purr lapped it up, and warmth spread through her body like sunrise upon snow. A flickering of gold shimmered in her eyes. The Warlock noticed it as he stroked her fur with his long, thin fingers. But Purr could feel his tension. Something's wrong, she said. What is it? The Warlock turned to the great cauldron. Its light flickered weakly. Mischief, he said. The gremlin stole my Yule light ring. It holds a crystallized drop of Yule's first light. Without it, I cannot finish the magic corn that gives St. Nicholas's reindeer the power to fly. And I cannot leave the cauldron, or the spell will die completely. Purr's tail twitched. I can help. I heard evil laughter in the walls. It must be them. It must be the gremlins. I can go where they hide, and if they have your ring, I will bring it back. The Warlock's brows lifted. Brave words for one so small, but if you could find my ring, Christmas would indeed be saved. His gaze darkened. Take care, little one. The gremlins feed on fear. But you carry a spark. I felt it when you drank my milk. Courage is the opposite of fear. If you are in need, call upon your spark, and my ring will answer. Purr nodded, brushed against the Warlock's leg, and slipped back into the narrow passage. The dark pressed close. Frost glittered faintly on the stones as she crept deeper under the fortress. The laughter returned, sharp as broken glass. Purr trembled, but shook off the fear. The passage twisted through the frozen roots of the mountain until it opened into a wide cavern blazing with firelight. The gremlins were there. Their lair flickered orange and red, shadows writhing on the walls. They were small and wiry, with pointed ears and skin of sickly green. They banged on broken toys for drums and clattered stolen silver spoons. At the far wall, atop a mound of trinkets, sat their chieftain. The Yule light ring gleamed on his bony finger as he tore glowing Christmas wishes into ribbons, cackling as their light guttered and died. Purr's heart quailed. If they could snuff out Christmas wishes, what chance had she? She almost fled back to the safety of the hall, but then she pictured Santa's sleigh, silent in the snow, and children waking to no gifts. She could not allow that. Courage welled in her small chest. She slipped into the cavern paw by paw, tail low, crouching behind a pile of broken toys. The chieftain took the ring from his finger and held it aloft, howling in triumph. The others howled with him, shaking the icicles on the ceiling. It was the moment Purr needed. She pounced, claws flashing, and batted the ring from the chieftain's spindly grip. It clinked on the stones and rolled into the shadows. The cave went silent. The chieftain's yellow eyes opened wide with shock. Purr landed, ready to chase the ring, but the chieftain was quick as a striking snake. His great webbed foot slammed down, cornering her against the toys. He raised a jagged, wicked knife. Nasty little thief, he hissed. Purr crouched against the cold stone. There was nowhere to run. Suddenly, a gray blur shot from the darkness. Barnaby! The rat landed squarely on the chieftain's head, biting his ear and slashing wildly. The chieftain shrieked, dropping the knife to claw at his own face. Barnaby was thrown loose and tumbled across the floor. He scrambled up, breathless. Looks like we're even, kid, he shouted. Grab that ring and run. Purr darted past the distracted gremlins. She snatched the ring in her teeth and bolted for the tunnel, Barnaby scrambling right beside her. The kitten has the ring, the chieftain screamed, black blood oozing from his ear. The horde lunged, but the kitten and rat dodged beneath their legs, scattering trinkets. One gremlin hurled a barbed spear, but Purr ducked, and it clattered harmlessly against the wall. The ring's glow flickered against the tunnel walls as she ran. Behind them came the snarling pack, webbed feet slapping against the icy floor. Purr dove for a narrow turn just as the claw slashed at her hind leg. It missed by an inch, iron-hard nails scraping the ice. They skidded around a sharp corner and stopped dead. A massive gremlin blocked the path, filling the tunnel with his hulking frame. He didn't growl. Instead, he smiled, a wet, toothy grin that promised pain, and hefted a heavy club made from a shattered sleigh runner. Pearl scrambled backwards, but the tunnel behind them was choked with the horde. A wall of green skin and iron claws surged forward. The gremlins slowed. They didn't need to run anymore. Their laughter died down into a low, hungry hiss. The darkness seemed to press against Purr's fur, suffocating and cold. Barnaby drew up beside her, trembling violently. She sat on his haunches. Well, kid, he whispered, voice cracking, I guess this is it. Nice knowing ya. But the ring pulsed warm in Purr's mouth. What was it the Warlock had said? The gremlins feed on fear. Courage is its opposite. If you are in need, call upon your spark, and my ring will answer. Purr squeezed her eyes shut. She felt the crushing weight of the dark, the stench of the monsters, the cold of the grave, and she rejected it all. She reached into the deepest parts of her heart. Courage, I need you now. Her eyes snapped open, blazing with liquid gold. A beam of pure... that's supposed to be a beam of pure light. Erupted from her gaze, striking the crystal of the Yule-light ring. The ring sang in a resonant note that shook the mountain. The shock wave of the golden radiance exploded outwards. It was blinding, magnificent. Condensed power of every Christmas morning since the beginning of time. The massive gremlin shrieked, throwing his arms over his face as his skin began to smoke. The horde behind him growled and scrambled back, blinded and terrified by the purity of the light. Purr darted past the creature, running like a shooting star, Barnaby racing in her wake. The blue light of the Warlock's hall grew brighter. With a final leap, she burst from the crack in the wall and tumbled onto the floor. Several gremlins scrambled into the hall behind them, but the Winter Warlock was ready. He raised his staff, blazing with blue fire. Begone, wretches, he thundered, to the outer dark with you. He struck the floor. A surge of frost swept over the gremlins, freezing them mid-stride before they twisted and vanished into a starry void. With a wave of his hand, the Warlock sealed the passage with a gleaming sheet of steel-hard ice. Purr was safe. The Warlock knelt, his robe pooling like a snowdrift. Barnaby sat up, dusting frost from his whiskers. Purr dropped the Yule-light ring at the Warlock's feet. You did it, he said in awe, lifting the ring. Truly you are braver than wolves. He looked from the kitchen at the scruffy rat. And you, sir, watching, and you, sir, okay, this is supposed to be looking from the cauldron, because I was like, how does the Warlock know what the rat did? I watched in the cauldron's mists as you fought a chieftain to save your friend. That's a warrior spirit. Barnaby puffed out his chest, looking bashful. She got me out of a trap first. Only fair. The Warlock smiled. Debts are paid, but valor deserves a reward. My larder is vast, Master Barnaby, and the supply of cheese is endless. You shall be the guardian of the pantry, if you wish to stay. Barnaby's eyes went wide. Endless? He looked at Purr and grinned. I think I'm going to like this place. The Warlock slipped the ring onto his finger and turned to the cauldron. Now, he said, let's finish this spell together. Every Warlock needs a familiar, and you've proven yourself worthy. Purr leapt to the rim of the cauldron. The Warlock traced runes in the air. They chanted together, deep voice mingling with soft purr. Blue and gold flames leapt up, swirling until the hall glowed like morning. Flakes of gold drifted down like snow. The Warlock laughed. We've done it, little one. The corn is stronger than ever. He scooped Purr into his arms. Come, we must go to the great workshop to deliver this to St. Nicholas. He looked into her eyes, his expression kind and knowing. And I suspect we shall find your mother there. The great workshop calls to all those who are lost and brave. Purr nestled into his robes. For the first time since the storm began, she purred without fear, ready to meet St. Nicholas, imagining a world where all lost things are found. Boom. So the big thing that was added was Barnaby. Yes. So exactly. So I added, well, what we needed was the help unlooked for moment. That, you know, Purr needs some help trying to get away from these gremlins. She does it all by herself, and it's much better with the Han Solo moment. When Luke Skywalker is going down, you know, to blow up the Death Star in the original Star Wars, Darth Vader's on his tail, about to blow him away, and then all of a sudden, here comes Han Solo and Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon that saves him and allows Luke to take the shot. So that's kind of what I was going here. I said I need that. It's better with that. That way, Purr doesn't have to do it all by herself. She has an ally. You hit that beat, that the archetypical beat of that help unlooked for, which meant I had to add the character in. So Barnaby gets his redemption arc. Purr gets to be a hero in the beginning by saving the rat. So she demonstrates competence though in the beginning. So I like that. I like integrating that. It made it a little bit longer, of course, but now I'm really happy with that whole arc. I hope you like it too. I'm glad I'm getting another story out by Christmas. So I need to get a story out this year. I haven't been able to do music videos or something on the Cultist channel. All creative effort has gone into getting the story out. But to me, that's something I'm very happy to have done. I saw a couple of things that I want to change after having read it out loud. So I will probably do another pass or two over this, but it has got to be in its final form by early afternoon, particularly with putting together all the other letters and stuff. So, well, that's it. Mike says that's great. Better with Bacon says I love this. So thank you. So The Last Phoenix says hadn't seen the previous version. This one flows quite nicely. Thank you. I don't remember how. Thank you very much. I don't remember how advanced the last time it was. But yeah, Barnaby was not in it. The rat was not in it at all. The major change since last time it was on here was the inclusion of Barnaby. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It's a bit shorter stream today, and I know I started late, but I have got a lot of stuff I've got to do, especially if I'm going to do it all, and then also get back to the North Pole train tonight. So everyone have a wonderful day. Now into December now, or I mean, we'll be tomorrow. So here we go. Here we go into Christmas full throttle. So everybody have a wonderful day. Go forth, be creative, and be constructive. I will be in touch later.